My girlfriend of 4 years has recently become obsessed with a male streamer and I feel really uncomfortable about it. This was a post made on the subreddit r/relationship advice around the end of 2020. What was particularly shocking here is that barely just a
Girl throws away 4 relationships. Oh,
few days after making that initial post, he'd end up breaking up with his girlfriend. Her obsession with that streamer was that irrational. And during that time, she wasn't the only one who might have felt this way. That's because the male streamer in question here was none other than Sykkuno, a name and face that had become a core memory of the COVID-19 pandemic, more specifically when everyone was...
Is that a filter? It's very unusually blurred on this side.
Was locked up in their homes.
Like Photoshop.
In the span of less than a year, he would go from having 1,000 average viewers on Twitch to 50,000, even having a stream where he peaked at over 100,000 concurrent
What does he do?
viewers. What he'd be most known for was his gameplay of Among Us with his friends, who happened to be very big content creators as well. Not only would he get tens of thousands of concurrent viewers on Twitch, but he would get millions upon millions of views on his YouTube channel as well. And while his rise to fame is definitely incredibly impressive, what was truly unparalleled here is his extremely high ratio of female viewers. Confirmed to have...
No, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, okay? I'm gonna fucking say it. It's because he's Asian. Really? He was like, there's no like, if you think of like the Twitch Asian boy, cozy boy, he has taken a monopoly on that idea. He has no one to challenge him. Except me.
Having been higher than any of his other content creator friends. His handsome look, his anime sounding voice, and his
oh my god, the voice.
witty jokes made women
Is he funny? I don't know. I never watched a Sykkuno stream.
go rabid. In fact, it was also a joke that he would turn male fans gay. But what made him really desirable is just how socially awkward he was. He was innocent in an endearing way. He was a boy failure that needed a woman to fix him. In a nutshell, he was this picture, almost allergic to other women. He just couldn't handle anything romantic. He would get too flustered. This made many of his fans want to be the one to
You know, as a dude, I think dudes hate this kind of image, to be honest.
finally fix him. But make no mistake here, this was all a perfect...
Because it's all seen performative. I think that's why dudes get the ick from him. Honest to God, it just seems so fake and performative. But maybe it's true. I have no idea. I never watched it. I don't know anything about him, right? But just on the surface. On the surface, it seems really fake.
crafted image that he had made for himself.
My honest, whenever I've seen Sykkuno ever, it always seems so fake. But I always said to myself, maybe I just don't know the guy. I gave him a little doubt. I'm trying to be fair. You know what I mean? But that's my honest, that's how I honestly felt. I always felt about Sykkuno.
He wanted you to think that he was innocent, naive, a boy failure, someone who's inexperienced in relationships.
But obviously I'm biased now because there's all, because he's in a controversy, right? So it's like,
and would never hurt a fly, because in reality, behind this mirage, this illusion, there was a master manipulator, a serial cheater, and a predator.
You know what? Everyone is saying he's not. Okay, when this video first came out, everyone was against him. But then more stuff came out, and then people were like, you know what? This video is a bit out of proportion. He's not actually a predator. You know what I really think? I think that he's just the bottom. He is a safe, boring, bottom Asian boy that girls can just self-project their feelings onto. And that's what made him popular. That's what I genuinely feel and think. I don't think that's wrong, by the way. But I think he's a bottom. He doesn't know what he wants. That's my strong opinion on him. And that's why I feel like I personally not disliked him, but I didn't really care for him because he never really engaged with me in a way that was either thought-provoking, and he never seemed like he did anything interesting, at least to me personally.
Someone who would make it a point for many years.
Because obviously he's just a cozy Asian boy Twitch streamer, I guess.
To target smaller content creators, take full advantage of the fact that he was one of the most desirable men in the streaming world, all while making it seem like he had no experience with women and that it just might be romantic.
I never heard of it until now.
They just might be that special someone who can fix him. What he would somehow forget to
fix him. I mean, I don't think he presented himself as someone to be fixed. I just think he presented him as a bottom.
Tell them, though, is that he had been in a monogamous relationship since 2021. But you don't have to take my word for it.
That doesn't matter, really.
Because he admits to everything.
Now, this is the girl everyone is mad at. I don't know who this is. I just know the profile picture and Twitter tweets saying how weird she is and how Sykkuno did nothing wrong. I have no idea, by the way. We're only 2 minutes in. I might have been yapping way too much.
A recorded voice call with the victim herself. And on top of that, that same victim, who goes by the name of HemamalVT, would choose to write a Google Doc that shows the entire timeline, her and Sykkuno's DMs together, as well as the DMs of another victim that actually slept with Sykkuno while being totally oblivious to the fact that he has been in a relationship since 2021. This might be one of the most impactful and longest running lies in content creation history. I want to thank the two victims in question for trusting me with this very...
Now, from what I know, Hememel, is that how you say her name? She sent like the docs and stuff to this guy first. Where's the news comments? Was fair and balanced, not so much. I hate all parties involved. That's what I said at the beginning. I think everyone thinks everyone involved in this is retarded. There is no winner in this. What a terrible video.
Heavy topic, and for allowing me to make the first comprehensive video on it. So without further ado, let's get right into this mess. Alright, so first off, who the hell is Sykkuno? Well, before starting his streaming career, he actually used to be a software engineer working in the Bay Area of California. His monotonous office life would change forever though when he would meet Lily Pichu, a well-known content creator who actually started making content as far back as 2012. However, when they met, she was far from being the very well-known content creator that we know today. It was back during the Season 3 World Championship for League of Legends during the year of 2013, so barely a year into her content creator journey. Sykkuno would be aware of her content. He'd reach out to her and would want to meet her, seeing that they're both at the same place. Lily Pichu agreed, thinking, oh, am I about to meet a fan? That's awesome. She'd be absolutely shocked when that fan would show up with a massive bouquet of flowers. As she was about to thank him,
this was 2012, right?
He would run away back to his cousins. According to him, these were his only friends at the time. He was that
so he's a bottom.
Lonely. He was simply too embarrassed to interact with her further. This interaction left a good impression on Lily Pichu, and they kept in touch for years to come. In fact, as she would start her streaming journey, she'd play with her...
I don't understand why girls would find this cute. I just would find it cringe as a dude. Because, like, he has no confidence.
Friends, and one of those...
But I guess I can understand why when a guy has no confidence, it's cute, blah, 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 but it's like, oh my god.
Friends would be Sykkuno. Her viewers would start to express interest in him, especially seeing that his voice sounded like an anime character. There was genuine demand in her community to know what he looked like. What they didn't know, though, was that Lily Pichu had already shown him. He was there with her when she went to Summoners Con 2015, and he was right there with her in her vlog.
Yeah, that's not cute to me. Exactly.
But most of her community were simply not aware of this. So seeing that there was growing demand to see what he looked like, they decided to do a face reveal live on Lily Pichu's stream around the year of 2019.
Yeah. You're such a... Oh, okay, here we go. Wait, you're actually so much braver than I thought.
Only because you're here.
Alright, I'm gonna...
That it...
Just get up.
And as you can see, the chat was definitely not disappointed. In fact, Lily
So
Pichu...
cringe. I'm telling you, I sound like such a Sykkuno hater, and honestly, I kind of am. But like, I have nothing against him personally. It's just I just think it's so fake. It just seems so fake. I don't know if it is fake. It just seems fake.
She had such an impact on Sykkuno that she would be, well, the main reason why he would start streaming. And you can hear him say that himself.
So what convinced you to start streaming?
Oh, Lily actually.
And speaking of streaming, he would start doing
The thing about Sykkuno is that everything is so controlled. It's
shortly after revealing his face on Lily Pichu's stream. He'd start in the beginning of 2019 with barely under 100 viewers, but as the months would go by, he would start to get very rapid growth. He would really start putting in serious hours by August 2019, and within just 1 year, by August...
Honestly, this is the best thing to ever happen to Sykkuno ever. Since the Among Us thing, this scandal is probably the best thing ever to have happened to him, because as a boring fucking bottom, he was on the downfall. And now he can be, if he plays into the player image, it will actually work for him. But because, oh my fucking God, because everything just seems so fake and boring before, but this can actually push him forward.
2020.
What am I walking in on? You're walking in on a bottom, a bottom who has a roster.
He'd be sitting at 8,000 average viewers, reaching a peak of 15,000. But how? Why? Well, during his streams, he would continue playing with Lily Pichu. And seeing that Lily Pichu has a lot of big content creators that she calls friends, she would introduce them to Sykkuno. It turned out that this guy was very easy to talk to. He was witty, he made jokes, and the communities of the many streamers actually enjoyed his company. All of these factors combined would be the perfect catalyst for when the quarantine season of COVID-19 would arrive. He would start to play the game...
Honest to God, this is what I really think, okay? This is why bottoms shouldn't have rosters. Because bottoms don't know who they are, what they want. They're not confident. Okay? He's like a 35-year-old millionaire. All you have to do is go outside and walk into a bar and talk to a girl. You don't need to fucking DM every VTuber to try to get sex. Really? Why do you need to do this? You have all the money in the world. You just need to go outside. Like, people that work at McDonald's, they can't afford a house. They can't just go to a bar every weekend because it's what's the word? It's irresponsible because they don't have the financial capability to take care of another person or themselves yet. Sykkuno has so much money, he doesn't need to DM VTubers. It's just dumb and cringe. You don't need a roster either. You're oh my God. Why am I
Among Us with some of the biggest content creators on the planet, and within just 4 months, he would go from 8,000 average viewers all the way up to 50,000 average viewers, peaking at 100,000 viewers in one stream. He was gaining 500,000.
That being said, this guy getting like, I don't know. I don't even give a shit. Everyone is retarded involved in this, okay? Who
followers
cares?
Every single month. In just the span of like a year and a half, he had gone from being a mid-tier streamer to one of the biggest on the entire platform. It wasn't just Twitch though. He would be getting millions upon millions of views on his YouTube videos as well. He was killing it on every single platform he was on. And so by 2022, when YouTube was aggressively...
I don't like his vibe. I don't like how he presents himself, but it works, and that's good for him. I respect it. But for me, it's not my thing.
Putting Twitch streamers to stream on their platforms instead, offering them multi-million-dollar deals, they targeted Sykkuno, seeing that he's extremely brand-friendly, has a very loyal audience, and had become a household name.
And that's the thing I fucking hate about it, okay? That's what I get. Brand-friendly. Like, fake, wholesome stuff. I don't like it. Because it's obviously an act, right?
In such a short time. So on May 2nd, 2022, he would announce to the world that he was moving to YouTube on a 2-year exclusive contract. And as you can tell by the engagement, this post went viral. What I really want you to understand though is just how valuable he was seen by companies and platforms. Back when YouTube was aggressively recruiting talents that were on Twitch and their confidence and hubris.
I don't see how this relates to anything he did if what he did was bad, which it wasn't really bad from what people say so far.
Seeing that they completely dominated the streaming scene at the time, would never bother offering a counter offer. On the very rare occasion that they did, it was a very big deal, and guess what? They made an exception to Sykkuno. They gave him a counteroffer higher than YouTube. Sykkuno would go back to YouTube and show them Twitch's new offer, and YouTube would offer to pay even more. His contract alone is estimated to be around $5 million. Sykkuno, though, also had interests in other communities, such as VTubers. In 2023, for an April Fool's joke, he would debut his first VTuber model, extending his reach to a new niche community. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because at some point he was invited to a call with the Senator Bernie Sanders alongside Valkyrie and Pokimane.
Okay.
And instead of showing his face, he chose to be a VTuber. This was so ridiculous and it went so viral that he inadvertently kind of became a spokesperson for VTubing in one stream. I mean, God, everyone wanted a piece of that guy. You would see him everywhere, collabing with everyone. And this was partly due to his very loyal and almost rabid fan base. But it was, of course, all by design. You see, back in 2023, Pokimane would make the very interesting revelation that Sykkuno had the highest female demographic
I mean, is it by design?
fan base compared to any other streamer, her included.
Okay, so he said like by design to make it seem like he fakes everything, which I mean, I've also been saying. But like,
compare his level of fame and the way his fans acted towards him to K-pop idols. He simply wasn't seen like the run-of-the-mill Twitch streamer. No, there was definitely more to this. And one of the main reasons why this worked out so well is because he was seen as a boy failure. No, not the kind of guy who's unemployed and lives in a dump and smells like shit. I'm talking about the ideal boy failure.
I don't want to read this. I don't want to rot my brain.
The guy who's handsome, smells nice, doesn't live in a dump, but is instead just a hopeless romantic. Someone who turns all red when you want to initiate physical contact. The most innocent, naive soul imaginable. The appeal of a boy failure isn't necessarily that he's a failure. It's the fact that he's perfect, but
I understand this, but I just think it's also because he was Asian and there was no Asian male streamers that could fit this identity at the time. Honest to God. I think there's just a sense of yellow fever attached to it as well. Because this is when like K-pop was getting popular too. But, you know.
Just needs one person to fix him. And that's how a significant chunk of his fan base felt. If you've watched my channel before, then it's not too different from a girl failure that has a male audience that wants to fix her. It's the same parasocial mess. This can be very easily seen in some of the most viral fan-made videos of Sykkuno, like this one for example, sitting at over 3 million views. Sykkuno tells his trauma about girls. Sykkuno trusts his friend.
This doesn't seem plannable.
Disguised toast more than the girls. So this guy had barely any romantic experience, and yet still, he had his heart broken. He needs a woman that will fix him and tell him it'll be okay. And maybe she'll be one of his fans. If only he knew how handsome and amazingly desirable he was though. Because he's another fan-made video. Everyone's simping for Sykkuno because who doesn't? I mean, God, if only he wasn't a boy failure and understood how smooth he was with women. But he's too naive. Because guess what? This video is sitting at over 4 million views.
Honestly, he is naive. He is naive. He has to talk to... What's the word? He doesn't go to the bar. He has to message VTubers, which affects his career for some reason. Like, why would you want to sleep with people that... Like, if you don't want to sleep with people that are your coworkers, if you just want sex, that's fine. But don't try to just fuck your coworkers. Just go to the fucking bar, bro. Just go outside on the street. Just ask for a girl's number. Like, just do it ethically, I guess. You don't got to be involved in all this bullshit.
Is titled Sykkuno being smooth with girls for 14 minutes. Yeah.
You know what? Half of me, it's not an act. I actually don't think it's an act. I think he's scared of being vulnerable. I think that's it. I think he's scared of being vulnerable and everything just seems so kind of controlled and that's why it seems fake. But I think he kind of is the way he is, but not really. Does that make sense?
think you get the point by now, right? This image of him that was so carefully crafted would attract a very large female audience. It would also allow him to be one of the only male streamers to constantly be able to hang out with a majoritarily female friend group without him or them getting in trouble with their fan bases due to jealousy. The guy was innocent, allergic to love, and he wouldn't hurt a single fly. This allowed him to do things that other...
You know what? Maybe it's like I'm fire and he's water. Like, if I see a fly, I would crush that shit instantaneously. Maybe it's like he's like the complete opposite of me, and maybe that's why I'm like, I don't know. I genuinely don't understand this guy at all. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Male content creators could never do. Like, dude, this is him sniffing the armpit of...
I would never do this. This is really degrading. I think this is gay.
Fusely at some point during a podcast.
And I don't mean gay as in, okay, if you're here, I don't say gay because gay is bad. I mean gay as in feminine, and he's a man. Like, this makes him, like, this is basically emasculating him. I would never do such a thing. It's embarrassing. That's why it's gay, because it's emasculating to him, and because he's a quote unquote man who has chosen masculine responsibilities. And I am enforcing the society rules of being a man because I am a man.
When they were talking about body odor. This is how much he was trusted around.
That being said, I probably would do it. I mean, if the opportunity arises on stream, I would do it just because it's funny, but I would not want to do it. Okay? But if I had to do it, I wouldn't complain.
Women. And even though his audience was very obsessed over him,
would I do this? I don't fucking know.
They saw him as so awkward, so incapable of understanding what love or social cues mean that this was fine. They didn't mind because they were going to be the ones to fix him anyway. So it comes as no surprise that yes, some relationships literally ended over the girl's obsession over him. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if some gay relationships ended because of the same reason too. He was just that much of a sensation. And that crafted image he built around himself was just so believable and convincing. And so he'd keep on doing what he's always done, and after his 2-year contract with YouTube would finally end during May 2024, he would make his grand comeback to Twitch, peaking at over 26,000 viewers. However,
but you see him, he's like fallen off. And because fundamentally, I never found Sykkuno interesting. Like there is a cap to being like parasocial to people. Right? But every day a new twink turns 18. Like me. I'm a new twink into space. I'm a competitor. You see what I'm saying? And I think Sykkuno just needed to, I mean, this drama is good for him. He should totally play into this drama.
His viewer count would slowly begin to drift. And by April 2026, he'd be sitting at 1,665 average viewers, a far cry from the peak of the pandemic back.
So you're 18, hopefully.
At 50,000. He'd also stop collabing with larger content creators as much as he used to, mostly sticking.
Yes, because this is what these kinds of content creators do. They just like, they form they form an inside creator circle group. And if any of them branches off and tries to do it solo, they're gonna die. But like the top streamers, they can survive by themselves. They can generate their own content.
To himself. But hell, I mean, 1,600 average viewers is still very easy to make a living off of. He had made his millions of dollars, had this incredibly obsessive fan base. As far as content creator careers go, this really wasn't so bad. The guy was a multimillionaire. What people weren't aware of, though, is that for many years since becoming a viral sensation, he would use his status as Sykkuno, as the most desirable streamer imaginable, as this K-pop idol, to pursue relationships with smaller or up-and-coming content creators, whether they be cosplayers or VTubers, manipulating them into thinking that they were special, all in the hopes of hooking up with them and while being in a monogamous relationship. This is the real.
From what I know, he somehow broke up with his girlfriend, but lived in the same place together still. And that's why I say bottoms shouldn't have rosters. Because if you're a bottom and a multimillionaire, why are you still living with your ex-girlfriend? That's weird. It seems like a weak enforcement of boundaries, and that's your only job as a dude is to enforce boundaries. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense to me.
Sykkuno. And now, we finally have proof. Hemamal VT, who I'll refer to as Mal from now on.
Now everyone is hating on her. They supported her first, and then they hated her. I don't know what's true or not. I don't really give a shit. Because remember, everyone involved in this is retarded.
Is someone who has been making
But we're gonna see, okay?
content for the last year. She occasionally streams from time to time, but also tends to post cosplays on her Twitter profile, some of them being revealing. Those revealing cosplays would catch Sykkuno's attention, and he'd follow her on Valentine's Day of 2026. Within barely a few days, he would start talking about how they should move in together into the same house, all while having a girlfriend.
You know, the reason he does this, okay, is because he ain't got no motion. When he says his XP bar is low, he's serious. Because any dude with any sort of experience can just go outside or meet a different girl. That why do you have to target a VTuber? Like, why? It makes no fucking sense to me, bro.
When Mal would find out about the girlfriend, she would decide to write a Google document. The Google document would contain Mal's side of the story as well as Elfie Leah's side of the story. Another VTuber who, of course,
wasn't she got like canceled
also
too?
posts cosplays from time to time, which is why Sykkuno was interested in her to begin with. She also had no idea that Sykkuno had a girlfriend and would meet up with him during December 2025 in Paris when he would travel for a convention.
Okay.
Unlike Mal though, she would actually end up sleeping with Sykkuno, again completely oblivious that he has a
Okay.
girlfriend. They would both share their stories and the DMs with Sykkuno in the Google document. This document would be 32 pages long, and it would detail both of their experiences with Sykkuno, leading up to the revelation of the fact that he has a girlfriend, as well as a link to the full 17-minute YouTube video in which Mal would confront Sykkuno about cheating on his girlfriend with her. Here's how it would start off. On Valentine's Day of this year, I
feel like my head is... I'm dying.
Followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role model and someone I looked up to for a long time, ever since my days in high school. However, what I learned about Sykkuno after that day would make me regret my decision. Sykkuno is not the kind, soft-spoken character you see on stream. He is a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator who uses his status to get what he wants from as many women as possible. More specifically, ones who are smaller or up-and-coming content creators, knowing that he can take advantage of them. After confiding in many others that have had similar experiences with Sykkuno, I realized that this was not an isolated incident.
Okay.
In coverage, this has all. I urge all other content creators
Blah, 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 remain silent, blah, blah, this argument while quick for me, round up rectum, blah, blah, blah. You will find evidence of calculated bomb and manipulation, blah, blah, blah.
Below, you will find evidence where he gives an intro to the document, right? One thing I want to point out is the urging of all other content creators who have been personally affected by Sykkuno to come out about this. As I had already mentioned, there are many people who were affected by his actions throughout the years. In fact, if Sykkuno traveled to any expo or convention or event, then you can bet a hefty sum of money that he always had someone there who he flew out, hoping that he could bring them to his hotel room.
Bro.
Anyway, the next section of the document would be titled, Our First Conversation. After Valentine's...
I mean, it's not wrong, but it's stupid. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I told a friend who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I finally worked up the courage to send him a DM, and he replied right away.
Wait a minute. What? You're acting as the victim, but you're asking him to take you on a Valentine date, and then you send a fucking Sabrina Carpenter gooning.
So here we can see on the 15th of February, Mal would send, are you still looking for a Valentine's
I mean, we can always do a Valentine's Day do-over, you know?
date,
So you're
perhaps?
flirting with him, but you're acting like the victim?
To which Sykkuno would say, so innocently,
Oh my god, if you're gonna frame someone, can you at least try? Fucking shit.
what? You can't just open up with something like that? And besides, Valentine's Day is almost over where I'm from already. To which she would reply with, I mean, we can always do a Valentine's Day do-over, you know? In the same first conversation, he brought up what kind of games he liked.
It's 5-8, but I'm a horrible sleep schedule. What do you want to play right now? If you're not tired, because I'm bad at sleeping, I gym at night. Real note, a friend of mine dared because I don't know how to reach out. I'm really sorry, I don't mean to be off weird. Well, I've been in my... Okay, who cares about
play
this?
and invited me to
He brought up what kind of games he liked to play and invited me to play with him after a convention. So you accepted and you think you're the victim? What? These people are retarded. Honestly, if this was a plan, obviously it's a plan for clout, right? But like, at least try. At least like AI a picture of him saying something else, or you know what I mean? At least try to make it believable. It's not.
To play with him after a convention.
These people are so dumb, they can't even spot the own logical contradictions in their own messages and their structure of their fake evidence. You had one job, is to create fake evidence, and you fucked up.
Left image, we can see them discussing sleep schedules, right? We can see Sykkuno talk.
Blah blah blah. Games, Outlast. Free anytime soon. You're chasing this. My Discord is Mally Mal, by the way. She probably changed that by now. This is why bottoms shouldn't have rosters, because they're so easily led by manipulative dom girls. These bottoms shouldn't have rosters because these masculine women just easily dominate them, and they are easily led astray. So this idea of him having a low XP bar, it's fucking true, because he's so easily fooled, so tricked.
About the game he was playing, which was Outlast Trials, saying that maybe Mal could carry him. She would agree, give him her Discord, and then wonder, hey, are you done soon with your stream? Because I'm getting tired. She hadn't slept all night. She was pulling an all-nighter. He'd apologize for taking so long, and then he'd say that he has a convention to go to. So after making her wait for like a few hours, he would say, hey, listen, can we just play tomorrow? I have a convention to go to. And they would agree, okay, let's play after the convention. This is what would lead us to the next section.
This is the same day, blah, blah, blah. Only moved to Discord a few hours apart since I'm blah, blah, blah. EU, US time. Okay, cool. TwitchCon EU Swift Alley point out that I said we could go on a date to make up for Valentine's. He's not once expressed to me any discomfort or that he wasn't single. Did you ask him if he was single? I mean, this part, I guess, sure. He shouldn't be doing this.
Just in where I live. For context, this is...
Okay, so she's framing it as... Okay, so she's framing it as she's a victim because he didn't tell her that he was in a relationship. So this is what she's trying to do. Okay, let's see if it works out.
Still the same day as the first conversation. Only moved to Discord in a few hours apart since I'm EU time zone and he's US time zone. So yeah, these DMs have the timestamp of 10 a.m. EU time. The last DMs we can see on Twitter were at 9 a.m. So this is...
Man, you had me waiting for rain check, blah, 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 right? Also, which convection? Okay. Super late. Good report. Who cares?
Barely an hour later after they added each other. Mal would continue by saying, things started out innocently enough with him inquiring about fun things to do near where I live, such as aquariums and convention times.
Whatever.
Goes. If someone expresses interest in you, right, you typically tell them fairly
okay, it's actually like...
fairly quickly that you're already in a committed relationship. You don't just let things slide. Mal had no...
From what people say on Twitter, which is not a reliable source, that they broken up and they just live together, which is stupid again, but...
reason to think that Sykkuno was already taken. Otherwise, he would have said something after she proposed a date. He'd ask, did they have an aquarium? I'm a big fan of aquariums. She'd say, there's artists in Amsterdam. What? Law friends.
Okay.
He would also
follow my private personal Instagram. Is only about to blah, blah, blah.
Follow my personal official being hidden since it's was the next day. Okay, the 16th.
Making plans to meet me in prison on this 2-hour Discord gaming call. The same day as our first conversation. That's not a bad thing, by the way, but she's trying to frame it as a bad thing, which is retarded. Plans to meet me IRL, set to be the same weekend as Dokumi, blah, blah, blah. I also learned that there is a 15-year age gap between us.
18th of February. They had started talking.
So you know there was an age gap and you accepted it, or what? I mean, at this point, if you were not okay with it, why didn't you set your boundaries? What?
Talking on the 15th, he followed her on the 14th. The document...
Isn't this the point where you say, hey, I don't like the age gap, and you stop?
It would say, in this 2-hour Discord gaming call, the same day as our first conversation, Sykkuno made plans to meet me IRL. It was set to be the same weekend as Dokumi 2026 since he was flying...
This gives me hope. This gives me hope I can make it as a streamer. Because there are so many successful streamers that are fucking stupid. And that's why I started streaming.
Over anyway to attend TwitchCon.
Honest to God.
Going to the aquarium would be our first date. I also learned that there is a 15-year age gap between us. Right, so look, I personally spoke to the victim about this. I asked, like, would that
This is so inspiring.
usually have been like a red flag or a turnoff? She said yes. But the thing is, this is Sykkuno we're talking about here, right? So she made an exception. Because as you saw in the
If she made an exception, that's still her fault if she didn't like it.
intro of this document, she used to watch him in high school. She genuinely looked up to him. To say that she was starstruck was an understatement. And that's exactly
If you still accept to go on a date with him, even though there's an age gap, because you like him, then that means you don't really care about the age gap. If you generally like someone, then that's
what he was counting on. Now, while keeping that 15
making plans to move in together. It almost felt like a dream. Make anything I want happen, and someone's prolific, blah, blah, blah. And the reason to doubt anything you said in these screenshots about blah, blah, blah. Adopt a cat and have me possibly move into his house, telling me we couldn't keep a cat into being a U.S. citizen. Now, keep in mind this conversation happened 2 days after the first conversation. Okay. Him having low XP? True.
year age gap in mind, this next section
Now, this isn't wrong, but it is retarded. I mean, some people do move this fast, but we'll see, okay?
definitely hits different. It's titled, Making Plans to Move In Together. These messages would be on the 17th of February, 2 days after they started talking. It would say, with Sykkuno, our relationship moved so incredibly fast it almost felt like a dream. It was like he could make anything I wanted happen, and as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. These screenshots show that Sykkuno and I were intending to adopt a cat and have me possibly move into his house. I told him we couldn't get a cat yet due to me not being a US citizen and possibly having visa issues.
I need to get some
Keep in
cock.
mind,
I
this
mean
conversation happened 2 days after the first conversation. So in this first image of these set of DMs, we can see them talking about pets in general, right? About how he might be allergic to certain pets, about how his current dog doesn't trigger his allergies. So they start discussing the prospect of getting a cat. Mal would say, I mean, if I'm there anyways, we'll have to think of a name, no? To which Sykkuno would say, yeah, but I don't know if I can take care of it myself. Mal would say, or were you just going to name it Cat? He'd say, you'll have to stay to
Imagining the future with someone is not necessarily wrong. What's wrong is enforcing your boundaries, which she did not do.
help take care of it, lol, to which she'd say, I'm okay with that, though I don't know how that would work with me staying there. I can't stay forever either, you know, because I'm not an American citizen and I'll
Because if you're not fine with it, why didn't you just cut it off here?
also probably have to go back as well, because I mean, I hope at least that I can go back to studying end of this year. And like in general, everything is so expensive. And then he'd say, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe we can get a cat together another time then. Besides, don't you already have a cat? Which she'd say, yeah, but they're my dad's. Also, did you finally order the food? And he'd say, oh, I see. So you wouldn't have to bring them if you just moved somewhere. To which she'd say, no, I guess not though. I'd miss them so much, so I definitely have to get new pets. So barely a couple days after speaking to each other, Sykkuno's out here discussing getting a pet together, taking care of it, raising it together, and looking
In my opinion, you're both autistic.
into the possibility of her maybe moving in together with him one day. This was as he was sharing a home with his girlfriend. The next section will be titled, Lying About Being Single and Dating History. In this screenshot, Sykkuno said he has only ever had one relationship his entire life. I would eventually
I believe that. I really do.
find out that that was a lie and that he had been dating and living in the same house as his girlfriend for years and that I was not the only girl on the internet that he spoke to on a daily basis. So here we can see DMs of
I would believe that too.
them discussing this topic. Mal would say, I mean, you've been in relationships before. It's not like it's your first relationship. Referencing what they might potentially
Wait, but you guys haven't even met. They haven't even met and they're talking about relationship. That's, I mean, it's not wrong, but like,
have going on. To which he'd reply
don't
with,
you have better, like bigger priorities? Like, I don't know, meeting each other and seeing how you guys vibe in person first?
I don't know, lol. I've only like actually dated someone once and they broke up with me, so yeah, I think I'm just not very good, so it's probably just a me issue. To which he'd say, did you like never do anything for your ex, like at all? To which he'd say, I mean, I think I did. I don't think she thought I did, so yeah. But I mean, everyone has their own way of what they want, so it's important to be like, are you getting what you want? And if you're not, I totally understand. Mal, of course, would want to inquire as to what he was saying. Like, what do you mean you think you did? Like what? But he'd never specify and he'd always keep it vague. keeping up this persona that he crafted, the one that was allergic to love, that had no idea like what was going on with women. This would lead us right into the next section titled sexting.
Oh my god, how does it get worse?
We texted every single day, and these interactions would be charged with flirting and suggestive topics.
I would send him suggestive pictures and audios. He would confirm that he touched himself. I don't understand. When you're a big creator, why would you send these to anyone? Because they could obviously leak at any time for any reason. It's just so stupid. Really.
I would send him suggestive pictures and audios, and he would confirm that he touched himself.
So you accepted well, why would you accept them?
To them. Additionally, he'd always act flustered and inexperienced, keeping up the illusion of his
She's always blaming him. She's setting zero boundaries and then blaming him.
on-stream innocent persona. We'd also regularly talk about date ideas and things we'd like to do together in the future when we'd meet up IRL. Topics that are usually discussed between two adults who are clearly romantic.
Yeah, but you've been talking for like 1 or 2 days, and you keep playing into the fantasy and imagination with him. So it's not just like a one-sided thing. You guys
Interested in each other. On top of texting,
this is middle school level shit, bro.
we also called almost every single day, even after he'd stream for over 8 hours. We'd talk and play games regularly. One thing I'd notice is that every time we called and when he spoke, he'd be whispering and never fully use his voice. His excuse was that it's because he was tired after a long stream. And
because he's fucking cringe and he likes the anime voice thing, and he... Oh my god. It's always like he is like this, but he's not. It's just...
didn't really...
But you know, I don't even believe this bitch. How can I believe this bitch after everything she wrote?
find that to be suspicious. Using your voice for 8 hours in a row does exhaust it after all. I now realize that he was quiet because his girlfriend lived with him and he didn't want her to hear. So in this first set of DMs, we can see them discussing things to watch together. Sykkuno saying, let's watch something. Mal would say we should.
I believe the idea that he broke up with his girlfriend and they're still living together, because how can you keep it up for so long? I mean, I don't know how long it is, but like, if you're that rich, why don't you just move out or force her to move out? It doesn't make sense. I mean, as I said, everything in this is retarded. It's just stupid. Nothing makes sense.
He would say, let's watch a cooked Netflix dating show because those are funny, or both. And Mal would say we should. And do you also want to play games?
Because if you stream for 8 hours a day and you're calling and texting this fucking VTuber bitch for like 2 or 4 hours, you have no time for your quote unquote girlfriend, right? Burp. And that's why I kind of believe that Sykkuno broke up with his girlfriend but are living together. I kind of believe it, because he would have functionally no time to play 2 relationships at once. It's impossible. He doesn't have enough time for it, I think. I don't know.
Helldivers or Overwatch or etc. In the next image, we can see them discussing the spicy audio that she sent him at some point. He'd say,
he sent her a personal Secret Times audio.
hey, you do too. She would say, yeah, like in that audio recording I sent you, to which she would act flustered over and say, huh? Oh my god, well, yes, you really sounded cute in that too. To which she would say, did you ever re-listen to it, or only that once? In the next screenshot, we can see them discussing going on a gym date. Mal expressed to him how much she enjoys going to work out at the gym, and so Sykkuno would inquire about what a gym date looks like. This is when they discuss it more. In the next 2 set of DMs, we can see them talking about more spicy topics. Mal would say, you get flustered so easily. And then Sykkuno would say, because I'm not. I've never done...
I feel like my estrogen levels are increasing.
Like this kind of thing before, lol.
I feel like my testosterone is like decreasing as I watch these texts.
But she would say, and? You don't like it? He'd continue saying, which is crazy because I'm older than you, but like I haven't really bars look good later, whatever. To
My
use it later.
This is where the meme is coming from.
As in, I can't wait to grill my sausage to it later, whatever she sent. To which he'd, of course, sweating or saying goodnight to each other, inquiring on their health. He'd compliment her on her appearance. She'd say, I'm impressed. Lead us to the next section, titled...
As for my PayPal account and DMs, he wastes no time sending me money unprompted. I bet you, I guarantee she never sent it back.
Sugar daddy. Less than a month later, Sykkuno would randomly ask for my PayPal account in DMs. He'd then waste no time in sending me money unprompted, something that I'd later realize was simply a behavioral pattern that he'd employ with women he'd express interest in. I want to reiterate that I have never asked him for his money, and he did this of his own volition. He bought me both.
And you never sent it back. You received it. You received it, and so why is this a bad thing?
The gym jacket linked below.
You
and
literally received it and accepted it. But now you're using it as a point of discrediting him.
Resident Evil 9 because I had expressed interest in that game. Here we can see 2 payments. The first one sent on the 28th of February 2026, 81 euros, and the second one being 2. He'd innocently ask for a PayPal username on the 28th of February. He'd start off the conversation.
Hey, what's your PayPal? Oh, I don't feel comfortable with you sending me money. But guess what she did?
With, you still aren't asleep either? To which she'd say, I fell asleep, woke up again because I'm having trouble sleeping. He would then say, oh, well, good morning. And what's your PayPal so I can buy you games later? She'd say, huh? Straight to the point. Jesus, I need to update my email to my PayPal because it's my old name from before I rebranded. When he would send her money for a gym jacket.
Does an American chain want to send it back? Well, I mean, blah, blah, blah.
That's low. I wore it with the green set because I know how much you like green. Should also make a tweet on her account while wearing it, saying, this gym jacket is literally so comfy, the muscle mommy arc.
Whenever I have to say something about this, I feel like I'm becoming stupider because it's like, why do I have to say it? Isn't this common sense?
Will be real. So up until this point, this was Mal's experience with sex.
You accepted the money. You bought items with the money. You sent him pictures of you wearing the thing that you accepted.
Sykkuno.
And this is unethical?
The next section is titled A Calculated Pattern of Love Bombing and Manipulation. And this is where we talk about Elphilia's side of the story. The document would say, after speaking to Elphilia a few days ago, we were able to corroborate our experiences with Sykkuno and...
How is this predatory? When you accepted everything. Maybe he lied to you. Let's assume that's true, even though a lot of people have said it's not true. Let's assume that he did kind of lie to you. What did you lose? What did she actually lose from talking to Sykkuno?
Learned that we were both victims of this. We had no idea that he was talking to both of us at the same time. Sykkuno is known to send hundreds of dollars to the girls he wants to get involved with. This screenshot is from when he took my friend Elphilia to Paris during the 2025 TFT tournament, along with sending her 500 euros to help her move into her new apartment. You can clearly see that this was sent from his business email's PayPal account. So unlike the other...
You use your business PayPal. He's gonna write this off on his taxes as a business expense?
Image that was supplied by Mal, here we can clearly see this is Sykkuno at hotmail.com sending her all this money. A substantial amount, around 1,550 euros, all under his business email. Here are the DMs in which we can see that he offered to pay for her flight to TFT Paris as well as all the food and hotel fees there, pretty much taking care of her financially during the entire trip.
But are you guys never met, and you guys aren't in a relationship. So technically, and he doesn't know that you're also texting other men either, right? So isn't it fair game until you guys are officially into a relationship? I mean, I know that she's going off the fact that, oh, well, he's in a relationship. He didn't tell me. Okay. Listen, we know that might not be true.
So this starts off as far back as April 2025, with Sykkuno telling Elphilia, I'm probably going to Paris later this year for sure. I'm not sure on TwitchCon yet. I'm afraid I don't know enough
Bottoms shouldn't have rosters.
People. He'd say, you should come to Paris when I go to it. Is it close? To which she'd say, Paris is pretty easy to go to, yeah, since it's in the European Union.
You know what? Fuck it. I am tired of not knowing if it's true or not. I'm going to look it up while we watch.
He'd say, you better hang out then when I go there. She'd reply with, I'll have to see because I know nothing and no one there and it's expensive. To which he would say, I'll pay for it. Don't worry. She'd say, whoa, really? You do that? And then he'd say, yeah, of course. And all the food. She'd of course be ecstatic about this and say, you'd have to deal with my annoying ass though. And he would say, but you got to choose places to eat, like the restaurants. And she'd say, deal. One day later, he'd reiterate, "You're fine, you never have to pay for anything, don't worry, lol. How much is the flight usually from Netherlands to Paris and back?" Because she lived in the Netherlands at the time. "I think I'm going for like a TFT tournament or something like that." On the 10th of December 2025, we can see her saying, "I'm boarding now, see you soon," to which he would reply with, "See you soon, you have the hotel info, right?" Since they were going to share a room. This brings us to the next section titled Elphilia's Experience. Elphilia would talk to Sykkuno on and off for the span of 5 years. During that time, she had absolutely no idea that he had a girlfriend in the 5 years that she had known him, and on and off flirted with him. Anytime she would bring up the topic of his love life, he would give the response of playing too many games and not going out enough to meet women to date. So bear in mind, she knew him since like 2021, back when he was like the most desired man on the entirety of Twitch or the streaming space. And even with all that flirting, he never once mentioned the relationship he's been in since 2021. So this was in the beginning of his relationship as well. So in this next set of DMs, we can see Elphilia saying, "Also, I have a question for you. Why are you single? Like, how?" To which he'd say, "Huh? That's a crazy question, lol. I think it's a combination of like playing too many games." To which he'd say, "Why?"
Okay, let's see. To clarify, he didn't allegedly cheat on his long-term secret girlfriend. He literally did. He admitted that much, and Valkyrie confirmed that he admitted to her as well. As far as the predator thing, he is not a capital P predator in the way people mean it when they talk about someone like Epstein, and no one is accusing him of that. He's being accused of using his fame and money and a completely fake personality to prey on, manipulate smaller streamers and fans into sleeping with him. I get it. I get what he's doing is retarded, but like the smaller streamers like accepting it is also another thing, right? What he was thinking and what his actual motivations were, only he knows, but the facts were pretty clear and undisputed that this is the sense in which words like predator and victim are being used by his accusers and their supporters. I don't think anyone is saying he's evil incarnate and trying to cancel him. They're just saying that he's not the good who he always presented himself. As the entire goal of the women who have come forward, blah, 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 just seem to warn other women that his act is just an act and he's a long-term relationship. Okay, so there was a claim that he broke up, but they live in the same house. Was I gaslit into believing this?
Why crazy? Why is it a crazy question? The guy was desired by anyone. Even after his viewership had fallen down a little bit, he could still DM anyone and get them to date him. It didn't make sense. The document would say, "Same calculated behavior and patterns, using his nerdy gamer boy facade to lure women into a false narrative." In this next set of DMs, Elphilia would be saying, "You're cute. You're this sweet to all girls?"
Well, I mean, that's just a random guy on Reddit. I don't know what to believe. Everything's...
"Or am I just lucky?" To which he'd say, "Wah, lol, only to the ones I think are cool." So as we can see, Elphilia is just starstruck. She can't believe this. She feels so lucky that Sykkuno, the guy who's desired by everyone, is giving her attention out of anyone else in the world. This is the effect he had on people, and he knew this.
Why is this? Why is this on BollywoodShaddies.com? Hello, May. What's up? Let's see this. Let's do this. Okay, let's watch just... Okay, let's just watch the call first. Unless it's in this video. You know what? Fuck. I'm just... This is just...
And just like with Mal, he would follow her personal
It's driving
Instagram
me
with
crazy.
his official third all my travels.
Does anyone give a fuck about this? No. Okay, let's just go to the call, okay? Let's just sum this up. He has a roster. Does he have a girlfriend? That's what I want to know.
"I implore the many other victims to come to effort if I was to someone Kuno's voice document state."
Hello.
Now people are sus about this recording. Okay? That's what I know.
Thomas?
Hello.
So?
Well, pretty much know most of it.
Yeah? Like what?
Know what?
No, you can tell me.
Okay. Well, wasn't very honest.
Okay.
Oh.
Suck it up.
About sing.
Jesus Christ. Please, can you just talk?
about what? You have to speak up a little bit. Your mic is cutting out.
Sorry, always happens. About being single, and I just wanted to.
Okay. So he was in a relationship. Got it.
Tell you how it happened.
Uh-huh. You're still gonna have to speak up a little bit, by the way. You're still cutting out a lot.
Sorry. No, I talk quietly.
Yeah, but you never talk this quietly.
I'm sad.
Just say something. You're
It's the actions of your... Well, it's the consequences of your own actions, I suppose.
I know.
Mm.
So basically, I was in a very happy relationship.
girls find this attractive. He can't take a stance on anything.
Sound like it, but sure.
Well, let me finish.
Uh-huh,
I
continue.
was in a very happy relationship a
Okay.
long time ago.
A long time ago. What, like
And then-
2021?
I don't know the exact time, honestly, but a long time ago. And
Fucking God, please.
it got a lot less happy.
Okay.
How so?
I don't fully know. She just stopped hanging out with me that much. And
Okay.
Stop hanging out with you. She lives with you.
She lives with you?
yeah.
You're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear a single sentence that comes out of your mouth.
This is why you never date a bottom. Okay?
You
For all
dare?
you dommy mommies out there, okay, that want to date a bottom, fixer-upper dude, this is why you don't. They can barely talk. They don't have stances. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they want.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm just asking because you went quiet.
Anyway, so I was very, very happy,
Yes, you said this before already.
and at some point it wasn't so happy.
Yes, you said this before too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when, but like we stopped spending time together.
Okay, that's something new.
We hadn't done it together for years.
Okay.
Or what? I couldn't hear that part.
I said we hadn't done anything together for like years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just very sad and alone. Didn't feel wanted at all.
Mm-hmm. So you slept with Elfie in Paris.
Yeah.
And then you flirted with me. And were telling me.
Okay, I understand why she recorded this. Because she was betrayed and she's doing this out of spite. And you know what? Good for her. You know what? Yeah. People were like, man, she's recording this. Why did she record this? You know what I mean? But it's pretty obvious because she wants to hurt him. Because she was hurt. Now, it's unethical, but, you know, she can do it. And it worked because now it's hurting him, right?
How you wanted me to come visit you in Vegas, and how you wanted to go on a date, and how you were serious about me, and how you really meant, and how you wanted to go get a cat together.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
Because a combination of remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and
Well, obviously it's not gonna go back to that if you're actively cheating on her. It's only gonna get worse.
Thank you. You know what? I like her. She has to deal with this. I like her now. At first, I had my doubts. Okay? I really do. I really did.
I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're smarter than that.
I'm not.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're a child.
True.
Don't think that's what I'm acting.
You know what? Am I being biased because I don't like Sykkuno? Fuck it. I'll be biased. Who gives a fuck?
I mean, you say you're not smarter than that, but you are.
What?
You're a 34-year-old man. You just chose to do it.
True.
You knew damn well in the back of your head that it wasn't gonna end up well.
True.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
it's complicated.
It's not. It's not. you're just the fucking bottom, bro.
Really not. Cheating is just bad. She hasn't done anything to ask for it to be cheated on.
Okay, before I watched this video, I was like, maybe he has a roster and he's single. In that case, you know what? I get it, because she could have a roster too. And usually nowadays, everyone has a roster, right? But if... Jesus Christ. Why do I have to fucking say it? He's in a relationship, isn't he?
It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, but she relied on me to take care of a lot of things. And I still cared about her.
Okay.
And now you're bringing it... And now you're bringing in that energy, that level of confusion to everybody else.
That doesn't mean that... You do that because you wanted to, not because she was, like, holding it against you or forcing you to.
No.
Exactly. So there's still no excuse for you to cheat on her.
Not saying there was one. Just explaining why it happened.
The only reason why it happened is because you just chose to do it.
I literally said at the beginning of this fucking video that my impression of Sykkuno was someone who couldn't be vulnerable, who didn't know what he wanted. He seemed like a bottom. He doesn't know who he is. And this part right here at the end validates everything I thought about him just off of first impression. Isn't that kind of impressive? Think about it. I was right all along, and all I had was a hunch.
I don't know why you decided to lie to me, because you know damn fucking well that lying especially is like a big thing I do not tolerate.
Did he really lie? He just kind of he misled her. Honestly, yeah. I can see it from her perspective that he misled her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was fine about the Alfie thing, because I was like, okay, he didn't know me before that, right? But then I find out you've had a girlfriend this entire time. Do you realize how fucked up that is?
That's true. She was okay with the Alfie thing because they're both single, right?
But then I find out I was fine about the Alfie thing, because I was like, okay, he didn't know me before that,
Yeah, she was pretty reasonable about it.
right? But then I find out you've had a girlfriend this entire time. Do you realize how fucked up that is? Because not only were you... Because, sure, you didn't lead Alfie on. Alfie acknowledges that you didn't lead her on, right? Because I've talked to Alfie. I'm friends with her. I've been friends with her before I even met you.
Okay.
Like...
Why does he say it like that? Holy
she
shit.
acknowledges that you didn't lead her on. You led me on, though.
Ooh.
You did lead me on, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You gave me all these fancy-ass promises about, oh, we're gonna go on a date when you come visit here. What, so you could cheat on your girlfriend again? So you could sleep with me so you could cheat on your girlfriend again?
You know what? I changed my opinion. At the beginning, I thought they were both retarded, but that's because I knew the presumption of this video that he's bad or whatever, so I was just trying to see it both fairly. But if you think about it, right? What was I about to say? Forgot.
That wasn't...
What were you intending with, oh, we're gonna go on a date when you come visit here. What, so you
Oh,
could cheat?
she was genuinely excited and genuinely liked him. So if you think about it with that lens, then all of this kind of makes sense. And obviously she's dropping this to hurt him. But I mean, she can do it. Like, what's stopping her from doing it if she wants to hurt him, you know? Because he hurt her. It was very clear that he hurt her, and she put her heart into this. I think potentially, maybe she's being a fake bitch. I don't know, because I don't fucking know. I don't know anything, you know. But I can get it.
On your girlfriend again. So you could sleep with me so you could cheat on your girlfriend again.
That wasn't...
What were you intending with that?
But the core issue of all of this is that this is a bottom with a roster who doesn't know who he is. All of these problems are the source of these problems is from him.
Well, I thought it was going to over.
But what?
Like, I thought that was gonna be the end of that.
The end of what?
My previous relationship.
You were gonna
Oh my fucking god. Can you just say something? Just like stand on business, bro. Please.
break up with so you could date me, or what?
Well, like I said, it'd been a long time where like we hadn't spent time together. And
See, I mean, if he just said we live each other, but we broke up, and we don't spend time, we just live with each other. Say like just set things straight. Like his. Oh my god! All he has to do is be, like, I can't even fucking talk because the way he's talking. Like, you just need to have clear communication.
thing years.
Just say your stance, bro. Please.
In my head, I thought that was
Okay.
at some point be over.
What? I couldn't hear you.
I said, I thought that meant that was going to be like the end of it.
No, you have to decide that's the end of it. That's his issue. He needs to set the boundaries. That's his job. It's your relationship.
So you were already moving on before you even broke up with her.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Were you intending to break up with her, or were you just waiting for her to break up with you?
No, I don't know.
You do know. Well, actually, you don't know because you're bottom. It's because you're in a bottom relationship and no one's setting boundaries. No one's wearing the pants. And you guys are just comfort zoning around each other, it would seem.
It's
So-
just a really weird
I
mix
just
of like,
want to understand this. So what?
God, no fucking wonder. You know what? No wonder I hated this guy. Like, no wonder his vibe. I never liked his vibe.
What was your intention with me? Like, where was I in this whole thing? Like, were you intending to date me after her?
Put your
Like, were you
dick on the
intending to
table,
just ditch
bro.
to go date me.
I mean, I guess for me, it felt like it was already. Oh,
But that's not what I asked. I'm talking about me.
She asked the question. He's like,
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
You were thinking to just ditch her and then date me. What, were you gonna do the same thing to me?
say
I'm
no.
sorry.
Just say no. All you have to do is
But,
say
like,
no.
You're not really selling this whole relationship thing really well. If this is type of relationship
All you had to do was say no, bro.
you uphold.
It's fine. Not trying to sell it.
He should have said no. I actually really like you. But you know why? Because he doesn't know if he actually likes her. That's the problem.
I can tell.
Just trying to explain. It's gonna-
All of the cringe like middle school text messages can be forgiven if they genuinely like each other. The issue is, assuming she's not doing this for clout and she's in good faith, that she was genuinely interested in him and not vice versa. That is the problem.
Yeah. The thing is, if I never reached out to Bao, because I didn't even reach out to Bao about you, right? I reached out to Bao about because he's lied behind my back to a bunch of people, and I was not okay with that. And then started lying about Bao. That's when I reached out to Bao. I became friends with her roommate, and then I was talking with a little bit back and forth, and then
You know what? I generally don't think that she was doing this for clout or whatever. She seems genuinely hurt. Like, fucked up talking to this guy.
you came up in a topic, and then she told me you had a girlfriend, and that your girlfriend has been venting to Bao this entire time about how you gaslight her into staying. You make her feel bad anytime that she like wanted to leave because you cheated on her, and she knew that you cheated on her. She just didn't know who.
Ooh.
Because you never told her that it was Elfie, you just told her that you cheated on her in Paris.
Burp.
I think. I don't know if you told her, but I knew she knew.
Is he gonna say anything? I didn't pause the video, by the way.
Why? Why go through all this trouble?
Because didn't know how to
Yes,
I mean,
dude.
for God's sake.
because didn't know how to
1, 2, 3, 4,
I mean,
5.
for God's sake.
5 seconds, nothing. And then she has to keep talking to get anything out of him. This is insufferable.
If the only thing why you even stayed with her is because she relied on me for a lot of things, you can afford to take care of her for a little bit before she gets back onto her.
Ladies, this is why you don't date a bottom. Okay? Mommy dommies, this is why you don't want a man without an identity.
Like, her feet. Like, at least don't put her through the trouble of, like, telling her, like, oh, like, I'm still gonna be with you. Like, telling her that you're still her boyfriend while actively cheating on her every single day.
True. Why are you still...
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I should have just
He admits it. Okay.
said
Holy
how I felt.
Like, you could have just deadass. If the only thing that you were concerned about
Said how I felt.
is the fact that she relied on you for things, you could have just supported her until she got back onto her feet, so she could support herself.
True, you have all the money in the world. You can break off the relationship and like still support her as a friend, which I think, you know, some people is like blah blah blah, but like he can do that. I mean, he could have been like, yeah, I'm still living with my ex-girlfriend, but we're not together and I don't love her or anything. If he just said it clear, none of this would probably what happened.
You know?
I'm glad she's putting him on the spot. Me too. Jesus fucking Christ. This man needs to
It wasn't
learn.
just that.
Then what else?
Somehow hoping it would go back to how things used to be.
Well, as I already told you, cheating is not going to make it go back to how it used to be.
He wanted
It's
to
a
go.
lot easier to say that.
It's the truth. It's the harsh truth. Nothing is going to go back the same way that it was if you're
Then that means his intention was hoping that things would turn out while cheating on her and like killing the time with other girls, if that's true. Like, what the fuck?
going to cheat on someone actively.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm going to change.
You're going to change what?
That's it. Everything.
What do you mean that's it?
Just gonna change that.
You're going to stay with
You're
her?
right.
Because honest to God, I feel like the poor girl's been through enough. I don't think you should have to sit there and keep doing this to her. Because I was in a group chat with her while you were on stream. And this girl's absolutely f***ing distraught because of the shit that you've done to her. The shit that you've put her through. Like, genuinely. Do you know how much that fucks someone up? Like, you already cheated on her once, and she decided to trust you still.
Wait, this already happened before.
She decided to stay with you, despite the fact that you already had cheated on her and admitted to it. And what do? You go onto Twitter and go find the next girl to flirt with. Like, if anything, honest to God, I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just disappointed. I'm really disappointed.
Yep, that's fair.
Yep. That's fair.
Because she's been crying to Bao about it. Bao's been sitting there, like, comforting this girl, trying to tell her, hey, maybe you should leave him. Because this isn't okay. This really isn't okay.
My
You're putting
cortisol
this girl
levels
through mental
are through the roof.
strain. Every single day. That you continue to be with her. While you're sitting there having fun playing with your friends. Be so honest right now, Thomas.
True. His name is Thomas. I can imagine a bottom having that name.
So you think you might be right.
Yeah.
You might be right.
Like,
Not that
if it is money that she doesn't have, or if it's a job, or if it's family, or
I
blah blah
already
blah
gave
blah.
her a lot.
Yeah, well, there exactly. Just help her back on her feet until
Or just kick her out and enforce your boundaries. Do something.
she can support herself, and then just leave the girl alone. Because she deserves better than that. Because you cannot sit there and be like, I love her, but do all of this shit to her, and continue to let her stay in that situation.
Well, one part of that was true.
Huh?
What?
Okay. What is it? See, he's losing by default by saying nothing. Like, I have no choice but to side with her because he's not putting his dick on the table at all.
I think the feeling's faded.
Okay. What does that have to do
But
with
then you
anything?
should just let her go.
By the way, he's talking to the girl he's cheating with about her ex because he can't figure it out himself.
Instead
Isn't
of
that
just sitting
funny?
her there wasting her time.
That's hilarious.
Okay, well. Anyway,
And also, why'd you get on a call with me when right now she's upset? I know she lives with you.
Ooh.
I already talked to her.
Yeah, you should
And
be
I
there
told
to.
her I'm going to talk
That's
to
so weird to like live with a lover and like be hearts apart. Does that make sense? It's like you're living with a roommate or something. It's so strange to me. I would never be able to live with a person like that.
you first.
You should be there to comfort her. She's the one that you cheated on.
They're like strangers now.
No, I'm going to be doing that. I just wanted to settle this first.
This is not settled. I'm beyond upset with you.
It's not settled because all you had to do is like tell your feelings or set a boundary or apologize or something.
Like, genuinely beyond upset with you.
I mean,
Just put your dick on the
that's
table, bro.
fine. I settled. I mean,
I don't even hate Sykkuno personally. He just needs to fucking
That's-
say something.
that's it. Like,
Like
What's it?
if he recovers from this and
probably never.
And it's
talk
successful?
again.
like good
you
job.
And me?
Yes.
What? Why?
Is that not why?
What is why? I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still
What?
talk to me and be like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But I never will forgive you for cheating on her. That's
Okay, that's a really strange way.
That's odd.
I mean, I think you should cut him off because he's.
There are a lot of girls that are upset with you, by the way, because Alfie's not the only one that has hit me up.
Yeah, that sounds like you've heard things.
Yeah, and you lied to me a lot about that too. A lot. 'Cause, how big was the roster again?
She said the word I've been saying the entire video.
I don't think I ever had one of those.
He hasn't really said much. That's why he's attractive to like these. Oh man, some of these girls, you can't fix a dude like this.
I mean, maybe not at the same time, but you sure do hop around.
And the thing is, girls don't even care if you have a roster. A lot of girls don't even care if you have a roster if you're blunt about it, if you're confident about it, if you can still fulfill their needs, desires and emotions. Like, he's just doing everything wrong. He can still have a roster if he just put his dick on the table and said that he had a roster.
I suppose so.
Yeah. All I care about right now is that he's okay. Keep me updated on that.
I don't know if that's a possibility.
You can keep me updated.
I think she's saying this because she doesn't want to admit that she was hurt by him, because I think she's embarrassed that she ever even even like this guy. I'm sure all you girls had an ex that, like, you cringe at the thought of ever liking that person after you found out how fucking retarded that guy was. I feel like you girls know what I'm talking about.
How she's doing. You can keep me updated on when she moves out, because I don't think she should be living with you anymore.
I don't think you need to do that.
I mean, yeah, I care about her. Like,
Yeah, she can do that.
True. I'll just reach out to her then. But, yeah, no, just... Like... Go talk to her. She needs you right now.
I also think that she's trying to make him accept responsibility in somehow, but deep down, everybody knows that he won't. He will not. He's just gonna be like this way forever. He's 34, by the way. And it's not that being old is bad. It's just that being his age and he has no sense of identity is bad. That's the problem.
Hey. Oh, bye.
Bye, Thomas.
Shortly after the call, the last
I don't care what this guy has to say, to be honest.
thing Mal would ever say to Sykkuno would be, "I'm beyond disappointed." Different. I found out some broken. Sykkuno, you have a very ranks.
Whatever,
Will
okay.
No, 10% off.
Oh my god, dude. Why is that so stressful? Why was that so stressful to watch? I can't imagine how stressed the girl was talking to him, and I was so stressed. Jesus Christ.